thing I love most about Paintball Vault is just how easy it makes buying and selling gear online. I know as a buyer side to help sell my gear and give me tools to make selling as simple as possible. I can sell my gear, take offers, or just show off my collection. Paintball Vault to me is the way that buying and selling gear online should be done. It's safe, it's easy, and it's built for paintball. Sign up for free and see just how easy Paintball Vault makes buying and selling gear online.
Diesel! D-boy and nasty! What? Remember to roll! Billy, I'm with you! Let's go, baby! Keep going up, moving north! Woo! Hey, team paintball heaters, way to go, boys! Dynasty, let's go, boys.
Hey, what's up guys? Mark Johnson here with AC Diesel. I want to talk to you guys about the Shocker amp. This is my 24th season. I'm playing in the pro division. I want to talk about the amp. Straight out of the box, under $1,000 retail gun. Straight out of the box, shoots just like your top $1,500 gun. One good thing about the Shocker amp is the efficiency. I shoot 9 to 10 pods, no problem on my 88. And then it does come with the Freak Kit, the best barrel on the market right now, and you get your inserts as well. And you can upgrade with the full insert kit. If you're a mech player, it's a quick release. One screw out the back, pop it up, put new solenoid in it, and you're good to go. Less than 60 seconds, I can have that thing changed out for me. One thing I like about the Shocker is how small and compact it is, and it's super, super lightweight. We were the test team when it first came out. I have not one issue at all playing with this marker. Out of the box, straight on the pro field, compete with the top paintball markers in the league. One good thing about Shocker is the support team that they have. They come all to the major events and minor events. They got all the techs here ready to go, set you up. You got a problem with your marker, on the spot, and they got you fixed. If you're looking for a Shocker amp in your area, go to your local dealers and they can get you hooked up with any Shockers that you need. American-made gun, made in Pennsylvania.
Back further on the back line and get through the lane quicker.
You're hungry. I just gotta take a second and identify who I am.
has arrived. This smart target system from Gel Blaster brings a universe of gaming to your blasting experience, unlocking new ways to play, compete, and connect. The included app is loaded with games, transforming any space into your personal blaster arena. Warm up with single-player modes to dial in your accuracy. When you're ready to compete, go head-to-head against other players with one of the many included games, bringing competition and scoring to your blasting experience. Easily connect multiple Portal smart targets to create a mesh network, unleashing complex game modes that will leave your favorite consoles gathering dust. And with multiple mounting and power options, get creative by spreading out portals to make challenging battle zones. With endless combinations of target placement and epic game modes, show the world what you can do with Portal. Gel Blaster. Go play. This is Surge. It's packed with all of the latest tech from Gel Blaster, like a built-in lithium-ion battery and ultra-fast USB-C charging, unlocking hours of gameplay. Surge holds over 800 gellets. Activate full auto mode to rapidly blast gellets more than 100 feet. No cleanup required whatsoever. Surge gives you the ultimate blaster experience, period. Join in the fun by getting your Surge today.
I've been an engineer in paintball for 22 years and have delivered some of the most iconic gear in the industry. I'm the inventor of the SFT Shocker and Ion, the DLX Lux, the inline max flow, and preset system. For years, I've wanted to create a high-end regulator, and I've finally done it. And this is the Empire Flow.
Advanced. 9 teams advancing here into this next round of play. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports. Thank you guys so much for joining us, trying to do our due diligence to cover the best in the 10-man business, throwing down at a legendary field here a little outside of Chicago, Illinois. So many battles over the years have gone down on this exact Woods Ball field, and that is why we're trying to put our focus here. So it's going to be going down all day till we get to the top team, so who's going to take this championship. So I got Mikko Huhtinen, paintball legend up here from Hormesis, and played on a lot of championship teams over the years. And then also Harry Fry. Congratulations on your new nickname, by the way,
Harry,
Harrison.
that's the new name.
That's the new name.
Harry. I like it.
Yeah, so right now we're about to see Farside take on AC Empire. Far side will be on the left, AC Empire on the right. Looks like that is AC Empire in their kind of magnified tiger stripe. Going to be starting things off here.
It's
on
funny.
Your screen. Yeah, there's big Greg Pauly. You sorry?
You said how many teams have played on this field exactly. Andy Capcop yesterday said in 1990 whatever he got a cover picture and playing this bunker, playing this tape line.
Well, yeah, this field as we're about to jump into it here. Kicking things off, throwing 12 minutes on the clock as we are starting our Sunday battle. The top 9 teams have made it on. So it's basically 3 groups of 3, and the top team from each of those brackets will move on. Look at this, though. Aggressive moves from both squads here, taking a ton of ground off the break. So both AC Empire and Farside, they both played this field awesome, which is why they're even in this position. But, Harry, bro. Got to call you Harry now. But does there a body coming off?
Yeah,
body coming off.
Basically, is their first corner player, which is that bunker right there. Particularly is the anchor on this side. So that's a big loss, and he lost his first gun battle. He made the bunker, but looked into the first ball. So great shot by Farside for shooting the. Oh no, sorry. Great shot for AC for shooting the Farside player in the corner.
And it's been looks like the whole yesterday it's all about taking those getting very aggressive of the breakout and taking the front bunkers, but it seems to be really hard to make the push.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. To add to that, every single big move that I saw, I'd say about 95% of the big moves I saw off the break, everyone made it clean. Again, few guys here that got clipped out. So, but then yes, Miko, I would agree. What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, I mean, laning off the break in the woods is particularly hard. You have a lot going against you. You know, the sun, the canopy, shooting through trees sometimes, shooting through leaves, and then the distance. You have to get the height right of your paint.
And there's a lot of variables too, like the light conditions right now. Like you see really bright light somewhere, and it's dark.
Yeah,
some of the spots is so dark.
But
and
that's Woodsball, right?
It's
Nico?
Woodsball. That's amazing.
Woodsball.
That's what makes it so exciting. But it's interesting to see how today pans out and what's going to be kind of the side people are going to be pushing through.
Well, I agree. And it is an interesting question. This field, you can win from kind of everywhere. Yesterday and the day before, I've seen a ton of paintball on this field. I've seen teams win from the right, win from the left, win from what we're calling a show tape, and win from getting kills out of the center and early pushes there. The dark side, that's the far side. I've seen teams win from down there. It's a very balanced field. I do like the left side a little bit better than the right, but I saw a decent amount of teams win from that side as well, too. So AC and far side here. Again, AC on your right. We're looking, there's AC Empire as Bolly's going to come over. And Pauly's been doing a great job of quarterbacking. So in a 10-man format like this, with a big, huge Woodsball field like this, it is beneficial to have a guy who knows how to see and read the field and carry about a case of paint on his back and go back and forth to try to have to quarterback and flood bodies certain ways. Because loading up on one side it's just think about it from a numerical perspective. If you can load 5 and you end up whittling a couple guys and there's only 2 in front of you, well, that 5-on-2 situation with how huge this field is, that's how it's done a lot of times in the woods.
And you'll see a lot of times the back guys, as you're mentioning, go back and forth to figure out what's happening. It's so far away, sometimes communication's hard. So that back guy runs over to the other side, gets the information, comes back over, relays it, and maybe repositions bodies and to make a better push on one side. While the front guys are just kind of sitting there in their hole.
Tell me where they are.
Yeah.
But it's to Miko's point earlier, I mean, look at what you're seeing here. Look at all the contrast of shadow and light and dark and paint and pink and wood. It's difficult to get the communications. You're talking about communication. He's talking about visibility. That's all part of it. Now, that's why you walk the field. They've all played this field multiple times. So at this point, the strategy should be pretty dialed, but those variables are going to continue to change. So and right now, at this point in the game, they're just feeling each other out. Yeah, kill for AC Empire on far side. Maybe another one snuck off here or there, but it does look still pretty relatively even on the body count. With 8 minutes and 18 seconds left to go, we're looking over the shoulder here of AC Empire. And yeah, this is the point. Look, we've all played lots of 10-man tournaments. You're kind of hoping that either you're going to win a gunfight, one of your boys is going to win a gunfight, somebody's going to try to, the other team makes a move and you cut them down. You want to just whittle them down a little bit. So hopefully, because if you're pushing in, because then you have to make a decision. Are we going to go? So are we going to try to push and try to get an actual win here? Are we going to try to get the flag pole, or are we going to be content with a high body stalemate? Because the strategy at this point with just 3 teams in each one of these brackets, and then everyone's going to be playing off of what happens to the other teams in the division as they're all playing each other. So again, this is just the chess match of high-level 10-man that's going down right now.
And it really is a chess match. It's not about sometimes like you said, like we call the back players kind of like floaters, you know, and those floaters I think are going to play a big role today, especially, you know, you have those big names. I was watching Richie Malachevsky yesterday, just floating side to side, going up front, not good, going all the way back, then going the other side, and then he was telling his front guys, hey, I'm just going to run through everybody, you know, I'm going to take the heat and then, like, let's push this side.
Yeah.
And those guys, I think, are going to make a big difference today because it's kind of like locked down right in this point. You're really waiting on getting those couple eliminations.
Miko, I couldn't agree more. The quarterback and those floaters, and, you know, talk about guys getting their steps in today. I mean, those floaters, sometimes, you have a front guy and he had to run real far to get there, but he's not moving for the next 7 minutes sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas the floater is just running laps back and forth and trying to figure out where is the hole in their line, where is the weak point in our opponent's line where we can stack bodies up and push. Again, if that is the intent. And also, do you have, you know, so if you want to play the points game and you want to play that sit game and say, okay, well, we have 9 bodies and we've shot 3 of them, so they have 7, so we're technically up on points here a little bit. Well, you better have that kill count right, because we were out here a couple years ago on this exact field, I believe, where Infamous lost to Chicago Aftershock in a stalemate final game, where Infamous was off by 1 kill and it cost them the tournament.
Right.
And it actually allowed neither Shock nor Infamous ended up because of that stalemate, and it gave Adrenaline the victory. Adrenaline was half the dudes were on the way to the airport.
Right.
They had to get the call and change their flights and turn around to come back and celebrate because they thought they'd lost already.
And there's so many aspects on that too, like Billy Zerensky said it right, like in the woods you have to play as a team. You know, you gotta have the communication together. You gotta know what's going on. As soon as you lose a track where the players are, where the guy, you know, what's happening on the field, you're putting yourself in a really bad position.
And that all changes too, and is even more important in these later rounds, in these semifinals and finals rounds, because as Maddie just mentioned, you know, one body sometimes can mean the difference between the tournament and not, because it's a point system. So, you know, everybody's body alive, and the count, you know, sometimes means a victory or a loss or moving on. There was one tournament. Oh,
look at this, though. Another kill here as Farside walking off. And so this is what AC Empire needed. And we had just got to look on your screen. So they have actually stacked up and gotten a little bit more forward here for AC Empire. There actually wasn't anyone kind of at that anchor bunker at the tree behind these 2 bodies here on the show tape. And there's also no one for Farside in the fortress bunker down the sideline. So the weakness here is definitely on the show tape. If AC Empire can pull a couple bodies this way and start flooding bodies, they could put a big win up on the board. And when I say a big win, I mean a point score in the 90s.
I think Farsight has lost another player from the same side. Or
no, it was this guy. And I heard 33 a bit ago, so I think it's actually kill 3 or kill 4 for AC. And you want to see Lopez, who made the 50 Dorito off the break. Great run, by the way. Now start using, you know, wrapping around his 50 bunker, because they had shot the back left off the break, and now they shot the guy in front of them.
Well, they got 4 minutes and 27 seconds to figure this out.
Still plenty of time.
Yeah, that is enough time. Though they have about 2 minutes, which is some time, because you need, depending on how many bodies they have to actually push into. Now, see, they're starting to filter up this way. You need about 30 seconds to run the flag back. We saw Eric Hunter run it back in 31 seconds.
Right, nice. Did he drop his pods?
And it's not a short run. Like, I've seen some bigger guys running, and they're like just like totally cast out.
AC Empire. So this could give us more of a chance of a stalemate here, as AC Empire losing one of their attackers here on this show tape. But yeah, no, Miko, for sure. There was a team earlier on yesterday that had 46 seconds to do it and could not do it. They couldn't get it back in 46, and they had a handoff.
Because he didn't drop his pods.
Whatever.
It's a speed boost. Yeah, you got to drop your pods, speed boost.
He didn't drop his pods.
Speed boost,
yeah,
I like that.
And then he handed it off to, like, the biggest dude on their squad, too. Anyway, it didn't work out. But Eric Hunter was able to do it in 31 seconds, so he's still got some wheels. But, yeah, so that's kind of situation right now. A 3:28, AC losing a body on this show tape, so it's just not going to help their chances trying to push into guns.
No one close from far side. I really want to see Lopez here in the 50 Dorito.
Lopez.
Start wrapping around and you know, moving up the field, and as we were speaking on before, it is difficult to move up the field because the bunkers are so far away, and sometimes you're just guessing that nobody's watching you, because there could be a guy in a hole waiting for you, maybe not, and sometimes it's just a guess, but
well, that's an honest
it's a calculated
guess.
That's
an honest answer right there, because a lot of guys, like, you know, they ask sometimes, the pros know where everyone is before they make moves. No, not all the time. Sometimes you just gotta kind of feel, I haven't really been shot at from that area for a while, so I'm gonna make this move.
This is definitely the time to, like, if Empire has a chance, they need to, like, stack a couple more players here and help Lopez.
Yes.
And just have, you know, overpower this side, you know, maybe sacrifice one dude and make it their side of the field, because then you start getting those kills.
Yeah, well, we're looking over the shoulders here for AC Empire on the show tape currently, and I just don't see a lot of bodies. And they got a couple guys up here still, but they ideally would need, if they really, because once you get to this fortress, you've basically gone kind of as far as you can, unless everyone in front of you is dead, because there's no real good bunkers past there. Then it needs to swing more towards the middle, where there's a lot of bunkers to work with. So ideally, if the AC does want to launch an attack here in the next 2 minutes, they need another body over here. Now, I did see Air Assault Factory yesterday morning in the amateur division do this with 2 guys. They executed a nice close. Actually, it wasn't even a close. It was just an attack with 2 dudes on the show tape, pretty much all by themselves.
Wow.
And that was probably the best 1-2 combo I saw from just 2 players. Now, I've seen a bunch of teams do it, including these 2 teams we're watching, so we know they know how to do it, but they also they may have lost some bodies on that dark side. AC might not have bodies to swing this way, and they may be feeling too much pressure across field. So, I mean, yeah, we're down to 1:35. Now the question is a team going to get the pull? And a pull in this point in the tournament is big. If you can get a pull and then everyone else stalemates, then you got a decent chance of getting out with a low score.
Yeah, it's getting low on the time right now.
Yeah, so just how this works is there's 3 teams. There's 3 brackets of 3 in the professional division now in the semifinals. So you play 2 games, and whoever has the best score, counting bodies alive, eliminations, pulls, hangs, that's who moves on to the finals.
So a guy really holding them up over here is Farsight has a body real far up in that center.
Yeah.
Kind of where that beautiful godlike glow is just shining down upon that bunker right there. Yeah, he's looking this way.
But man, Lopez has had this move the entire game basically. I mean,
there's actually 2 guys on the center from the far side looking this way, and it's hard to get those guys out because on these 3 bunkers, like there's plenty of holes and you can stick your barrel through, and it comes kind of like the gray area. Like, is that spray?
Yeah.
Right, and a quarter size.
Sometimes that's a strategy. Like, if I put enough spray on this guy's mask and he's not going to be able to see me very well,
100%.
Maybe I can go, or maybe there's enough spray where the ref thinks it's a hit and calls him out. Nothing maybe connected, but there's enough. Just covered him in pink.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is woods ball, man. You're catching a lot of spray if you're a front player, and 5 or 6 dudes have been shooting at you for 7-8 minutes.
Reminds me
then
to change
you
my
can't
lens
really
today.
see very well. Yeah. So that is going to do it, and we are going to have a good old-fashioned stalemate in point number 1.
Yeah, there's the 2 guys in the center, and they were really locking this side up from Lopez, and he couldn't make that move.
So now the live bodies will stand up. They will go get counted by the refs, and then you will get awarded points for those live bodies. Once we get that score figured out, we'll let you guys know and keep you updated as the battle going to be again going down these 3 divisions of 3 on Sunday, top 9 teams, but only 3 teams will move on from here. And that is going to do it here real quick. We'll be right back. MVP Dark Ops is going to be taking on Infamous. I'm Andy Marshall here with Harry Fry and Mikko Huhtinen. We will be right back.
Yeah, me too. Only at ICPL. Where you at? Get again. Yep.
here, motherfuckers. They weren't even out at this fucking field this morning looking at this shit. They think they're gonna put us in the fucking ground. We're not letting that shit happen. We're gonna fuck them in the assholes, and we're gonna run down their fucking throats. We're not even gonna have to worry about playing next time.
Then we're gonna get
do that shit, Joey. Let's
fucking
go.
hibachi, baby.
Fucking hibachi, baby.
Yeah.
Fucking dope.
Yes, sir.
Right, guys, reminder, dead box off field, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Off field. You ready?
Yes.
We're ready. Hey, Senator.
Fucking born ready.
Hey guys, value your fucking bodies. Do not give them a kill. Don't give them that shit. We're gonna win this shit 10 alive, alright? We're gonna have stalemates. The game's just stalemate, alright? We need our bodies, alright?
Welcome back. 2023 Windy City Classic here, the last ICPL event of the season of Matty Marshall. Stoked to have Danny Manning up here with us to help us call some sets. Legendary paintball announcer from back in the day, and also paintball legend Mikko Huhtinen, champion paintball player on many different teams, and also one of the masterminds behind Hormesis. So, you know, Danny, we were just talking off camera about how in that I'm just wondering how many times we're going to see guys have a potential slight advantage and not decide to take that advantage because they just don't necessarily have the comms, have the communication, and have it for certain that they can make that move. But there was an opportunity for AC early on for them to push up this show tape.
Yeah, and they just didn't take advantage of it. They didn't know or call out that they had shot the last two players.
Yep. There's the breakout.
So Infamous here taking on Dark Ops, and just got to try to figure out who's on what side. So I think Infamous. Infamous on the right-hand side.
And Infamous loses the tape side right away off the break.
That's a big break, and Infamous has been taking massive bites off the break, but Zach Patient has made it every single time. So, and it looks like they either lost a body on that far dark side as well too, or had a body immediately go up, shoot a lane, and then run back. But I definitely saw an Infamous player sprinting back towards the backfield from that dark side, and a lot of. So Dark Ops though has taken a really good position in the middle of the field.
Middle of the field, but a little conservative on the tape side here.
Yeah, and this is the first game I've seen where no one's came to this outside bunker that really holds up the push from the right side.
Yeah, so Danny, in case people are just tuning in, you played this field. I mean, your team was in this tournament. Talk to me about the importance of that specific fortress on this show tape here from the left.
Yeah, that's a guarantee. You have to get into that, and you definitely have to have somebody behind you. But these bunkers in front of this they're super good too. When we played it, we just sent a bunch of fast guys to this side. We were expecting to win from this side. One game we didn't win. We had a lot of good bunkers, but we just couldn't push through. The second game we ended up pushing through, I think 57 seconds left, and got the hang.
Yeah, that was a good game.
We'll see how Infamous is going to, push this side right now.
So Infamous, actually, sorry to interrupt, Mikko, but just right now they made a move to this. So we were just talking about the importance of the fortress here on Dark Ops' side. That tree that Infamous just moved to, especially after losing their first attack over here, that's crucial. But I think Infamous might have lost another body, too. I saw somebody run off early, and I think they might be down to 8, and I think I just can't tell where that body came from, but I'm just looking on the screen right now. I mean, Infamous has played this side pretty heavily. They've had bodies this way, and they've been very aggressive, but I only see one here towards the show tape. So. And
Dark Ops has the center pretty locked down, looking down this tape side. There's a guy laying down on that center fortress bunker, and he's just laying down there and laning to the close tape side.
Yeah, so MVPS just made a great move up into the middle. Right before it, they've also sent a guy out here to the tape. So now he's got this tape locked down. Infamous doesn't have any bodies on this outside.
Well, and boys, Dark Ops also just made a really big move up on the dark side. That far tape. Just saw a body streaking up there. There's a pretty huge bunker, and I didn't see him walk off dead. So that's another huge move for Dark Ops. It would be, we're talking about favorites out here. I mean, Infamous has done so well at 10-man the past few seasons since the resurgence of this format. But their backs are a little bit against the wall. They don't have really good position. Dark Ops is probably up a few bodies right now. But now let's see if Dark Ops can close, because pushing into a team like Infamous is going to be difficult. And then the side that Infamous is on, it's a little bit harder to push through here because it's just so dark. It's a little thicker in this area, so you do have to be a little bit more careful.
In that big V tree that we were talking about earlier, he can kind of hold it down over here. MVPS can come forward, but there's just not a lot of bunkers for him to come to on this tape. There's nobody holding him back from Memphis on the right. I'm wondering if Infamous went to the middle and the lower to make a big push instead of here, because they did not send anybody out on this tape but the tree, and he moved up there later in the game.
Well, Dark Ops is out the Fortress over here on the show tape here on your screen, and I've been calling it a Fortress. It's actually not the easiest bunker to play. I mean, you can tell this guy's laying down on it, but it's a Fortress in the sense that if that guy's playing smart, he's hard to shoot out of there.
Yeah, that's the guy who's holding down this close side right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And Infamous, you can see Infamous communicating a lot right now, and they're trying to put together a plan and see if which is the right way to start pushing, But they have the big guys, Messer and Travis, So there's definitely a lot of experience there to make a master plan together and turn the game around. But,
also, Messer throws a lot of paint. Have you heard him how fast he can shoot that gun he has?
Yes,
it's insane,
yes,
bro.
insane. That's 15 plus, I think.
For sure. I mean, he had the fastest trigger finger out here that I heard the entire weekend.
Yeah, I feel like Mike Paxson and him, they're probably holding down the fastest guns in here in this tournament.
So just ridiculous. It's a wall of paint.
So we just saw Infamous make a run back, and I think they lost the body. We saw him run up to the middle, or maybe he's just fading back, but they did push. It's really weird Infamous didn't send anybody to the jungle tree. That's what I've heard a lot of people calling it. But they didn't send anybody there as well. Their furthest player out here is at the V tree.
Well, they had risked Zach Patient both times, and he made it clean in the 2 matches that I saw him play out here. And so maybe it was, hey, we know Zach's going to make it, or most likely make it because he's been making it, and then we'll filter out around him. But once they lost Zach, they really haven't been able to filter up. I do also think they might have lost another body or two that in the darkness of the woods over there. So they're probably just trying to figure it out and hoping that Dark Ops will start to try to close here with 7 minutes. Well, it's just 7 minutes. If Dark Ops plays this smart and they do have an advantage, it is not reckless attack time quite yet. They're still going to have another 3 minutes or so to try to work up the field a little bit more, try to maybe pinch a guy out here or there, maybe hope that Infamous loses a gunfight before they have to start an attack. But in this, in these, you only get there's just 3 teams in your division. If you put up a win in the 90s, if you get a pull and a hang, regardless of how many you have left alive,
you're looking good.
You're looking really good.
You're looking good. And like I said, this field is a chess match every time. It's going to be you gotta be very aware what your body count is, where your points or standings are, because it's gonna come down to counting bodies.
Yes, a lot of times it is, and that's just the chess match of 10-man paintball.
And that's what makes it so exciting, That's the part of the game.
Yeah. Oh, so.
Yeah, it looks like MVPS lost a guy on the far side.
We're looking over Ryan Hall's shoulder right there, so I'm not sure if Ryan got that kill, but yeah, Infamous is screaming bloody murder, and that's tough for Dark Ops. So Dark Ops just going to throw a little bit of a body away here. Puts Infamous in a better position with under 6 minutes to go.
By the way it looks like Infamous are stacked from the middle to the bottom side of the field.
To that dark side, Danny?
Yes, sir. And that's a whole different game down here in the bottom. Once you guys from the right get to the top, they don't have a whole lot of places to go, but they got a couple great bunkers there that can hold everybody off coming from the right side push. Nothing really big to play over there, but off the break from their left side, there's nothing really big on the right side to play either. We see Travis at the tree, the split tree.
Yeah, I'm sure Travis is right now just trying to figure out where the bodies are and putting that plan together, giving the commands for his front guys and hey, what do we have to do? This is the time. You're in the 5-minute mark, and you got to really figure out who's the key player, who do we have to take out, and what's the next step on this game.
Well, Miko, in the last set, Farside playing AC Empire, we talked about how crucial that quarterback is. You have to have a quarterback on your team that has a huge voice, shoots a lot of paint, and can rove back and forth on a field like this to keep the comms back and forth, and then let a guy so Ryan Hall's in this spot. He's far up the field. He's looking through. He has limited visibility, and yeah, he's asking, hey, what do you need? So this is look, they got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. I mean, Infamous dug in well, and they ended up getting it back a little bit here, but. See a body walking in the backfield there for Dark Ops on your screen there, way far back from Ryan.
It looks like the push for Infamous is going to have to come from the middle or the dark side down. They just don't have anything over here to do. MVPS has the key bunker on this tape.
Yeah, they have the key bunker on the tape, and they also have that center guy just laying down there and looking this side, so it's going to be really hard to push this closed tape side here.
Yeah, that's the same bunker Farside went to just now to shut off the AC push over here, and he pretty much did it all on his own.
But if Farside, if Dark Ops, if they have that center guy just totally focusing his gun towards the side where Infamous is not going to push. Because at this point in time, with 3 minutes and 42 seconds, Infamous does not have the bodies to push through in 3.5 minutes to win from this show tape right now. They need to come. It needs to come from the middle or down where Ryan Hall was over there on the dark side. And Infamous is now making another move up in the center. So kind of like just like we were talking about, that does appear to be where they feel the weakness is and where they're feeling the least amount of pressure. But it's going to help if this guy just continues to just totally focus his gun towards this show tape. Eventually, Infamous is going to get in a position to go run and bunker that guy out.
Yeah, and the center guys are kind of focusing on this side too. It looks like from viewing from here that the Dark Ops really are worried about this side, but they have at least 2-3 guns locked into this side, so that leaves a little bit of space in that center. So let's see how they can put it together, or if we're gonna go another stalemate here.
Yeah, we haven't heard any kill counts from either team. I think everybody's focused out there on doing their job and trying to win, but you got to talk it up.
And we're under 3 minutes, so there's not much time. Like, you got to start putting something together right now. But I also think this is the first game. Oh.
Where did that kill come from? Definitely heard what looked like a kill from somewhere, but I don't see any bodies walking off for either squad. Oh, is that Infamous that lost a body? No, that's a ref. Yeah, but like you said, it's getting to a time where if you don't have some sort of, it was, so there goes Wyatt. So Wyatt taking the walk here for Infamous, unless he's still alive and he's just repositioning casually.
No, I think
that looked like a dead man walk right there.
Right, with his head down, he wasn't happy.
Yeah. Not an actual dead man walk, which we saw one of those this weekend, which was hilarious.
Did you?
Yeah, Fight Club.
The guy didn't shoot one ball. He walked all the way down, grabbed the flag, came all the way back, not shot one ball.
I mean, I hate what dead man
was that against the shock?
On general principle, but it was a good move. They wouldn't have won the game if he didn't do that. So, tip of the hat and respect. It's a crazy play, but it worked out. So down to 2 minutes, and just like we were saying, and if you don't have a body stacked in the ability to attack, given the real estate that you have, you kind of have to start thinking long and hard about whether or not you're willing to take that stalemate, because you can't just giddy up and go from the back spots and just run into entrenched positions.
At this point, it's the first game, so like it's more important that you don't lose.
Yes.
You get a stalemate, and because it still gives you a chance to win a game, and then winning one game, you're looking good.
It does, but if you take the risk and you make those moves, you completely can set the pace for the next two teams that are trying to beat you.
Again, because then it forces everyone to play a little bit more aggressive. If you look at your bracket and you see that a team has a win in the 90s, it doesn't matter what it is. That means exactly you have to get ahead. So here goes some movement here in this last closing moments of this game. Is a couple moves. Ooh, body coming off to get a penalty. The ref was running across like he was going to go pull another body. Is Infamous trying to make moves here on Dark Ops and push into these guns?
Well, they know they have to make moves, and they're going to try to do what they can. I don't think they're going to stalemate. I think they're going to try to die on their swords.
Oh, they're running out of time. He's stuck. Is that Ryan? He's in a tough spot looking crossfield right now with just 42 seconds left to go, and there's Dark Ops just holding the line at that. That's a fortress. That's a pretty big bunker. We've seen that double stack quite a bit. He's rolling his gun towards the dark side. The topography is interesting on this field, too. It really does separate it into two separate battles. Yeah, there are cool blind shots over the little hill that separates the show tape from the dark side, but then there's also like a little Civil War type little hill over there on the dark side as well, too.
Right, the right side has to kind of go up the hill. The left is already at the top of it.
Yeah, talking to these guys, making so JP Augustin tweaked his knee a little bit for Cap Factory. Unfortunately, he's one of their biggest attackers, but he was talking to me about how just tough it is to run out there, man. You're taking huge bites. So that is going to do it. Got ourselves another tactical chess match out here. Going to probably see a decent amount of that, but it is interesting because, so now you really have to be careful on the count if you want to play the stalemate game going into these last games, because you just don't have that many options out here. Everybody plays each other, and then the highest point total goes on, and only one out of the three moves forward. So yeah, just another stalemate. I'm not sure exactly what the score is quite yet, because it's going to be up to see how many live bodies there are. The score in the far side AC Empire game, which is a different bracket than this, but that was a 10-16 game. This is going to be probably similar. I think there's actually a little bit more kills in this one than we saw in that first match. So
there's a lot of gunfighting in this game, not so many moves, Yeah.
So it looks like, Drew Templeton and I think Ryan Hall were trying to make something happen there for Infamous in the closing minutes. It looked like Drew lived through that. Shout out to Paintball Vault. Go check out Paintball Vault, download the app. And yeah, so we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with this next set here, Sunday's competition. It's going to be Adrenaline taking on Ground Zero Gold. That should be. These all should be interesting as we are trying to figure out who the best three teams are going to move on to the finals, and then we'll see the amateurs out here as well, too. So I'm Matty Marshall with Mikko Huhtinen and Danny Manning here on Go Sports. We'll be right back.
Hey, the pressure's coming to your side. Perfect, mate. Same thing as last time. Back a little deep and you get that early. You know what I mean? You a lot is better than you that. Hey, you get deep early and you run, then stop early. Hey, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. Keep track of that time, boys. No, not yeah. We have a miss. You're in the hole. Going and then we split. Hole here. Watch that hole. Yep.
Thanks, Lily.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell me the size real quick?
For who?
The next game.
Sure, the band, right?
Yeah, they already do.
Adrenaline, right?
Adrenaline is on the left.
Ground zero gold on the right. Oh boy. You all right, Matt?
I brought their cool. What?
Box boys.
The camera guy, we're waiting on camera guy.
Mike, do you want to?
Yeah, we can do it after this. I think we're about to start.
Here we go, boy. Any fucking jobs, have some fun.
Welcome back here. About to jump into this next battle. It's going to be Adrenaline taking on Ground Zero Gold. Man, all the 9 teams that are left played this field well in the prelims. But right now we are seeing tactical battles. Again, it's if you're just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. Trying to give some light to the Woods Ball, as this is where we all came from. This is the origin of paintball. And right now it's going to be Adrenaline taking on Ground Zero Gold. It's 3 teams in 3 separate brackets, 9 teams total. Just 3 teams move on. I'm Matty Marshall. I got Danny Manning, legendary paintball commentator for back in the day, and Mikko Huhtinen, one of the masterminds behind Hormesis and a champion paintball player with many teams over the years. And here we go, jumping into it with Adrenaline on the left and Ground Zero Gold on the right. And on the breakout, let's see how much ground they take. Boys, the breakout is becoming fun. It's always important, but with how this field has started to play, if you can risk and take some ground in the beginning, man, it really will be beneficial for your chances to get an actual real win on the board and not just a stalemate win by a couple bodies. And both teams taking pretty much standard positions, taking the Fortress over here on the show tape on the left for Adrenaline, and then taking the outside wire as well, too.
Little conservative, in my point. Like, nobody was pushing on this all the way to the 50, but...
especially in the middle, too.
Yeah.
From the left, the middle those are very makeable spots, and so both teams just playing pretty conservative here to start this one out.
It looks like Ground Zero did take that jungle tree in the middle. Looks like somebody went in there with him and just kind of backed out to the back tree. Ground Zero's got a guy out here on the outside tape. They didn't take the other 2 front bunkers, but I think they have one at the V tree as well. He is.
It looks like still 10 on 10 paintball. I didn't see. Oh, there's somebody got eliminated right now.
Yeah, both these teams have pretty stacked rosters too. There are stars from the NXL playing 10-man with both Adrenaline and GZ Gold.
This has been Adrenaline's first good showing for a few tournaments
and
now.
There's a big move right now.
Oh, yeah, Adrenaline just crossed the road on the 50. He's on their side of the field. He just has to stay alive in there now.
Yeah, Adrenaline has Frank Antetomaso and John Kurzawa, who used to play in the Pro Division. They have Elliot Weaver, and to me, Elliot Weaver's a big rising star in the NXL. Just went over to play with Revo and pulled off a 1-on-3 and a 1-on-2 at the last event. He's nasty. I don't know where he is, but he's really good. But yeah, both these teams are stacked. Ground Zero Gold, Henry Sense, O'Mara. They got some ballers on this team too.
And some legends.
Yeah, and a lot of legends. Yeah. So yeah, it's battle going down right now here. 10 minutes on the clock. Looks like Claude loading up a pod here, keeping the comms going back and forth as one of those roving quarterbacks.
The Chargers still in.
Looks like Adrenaline is going to try to make some moves. I mean, he's the first one that's crossed the road here in the last 2 games, and it hasn't been very far into the game. Adrenaline's got a lot of bodies stacked here in these close bunkers to us on the left side.
Plus having that center 50 on this side of the tape here, that's going to really help.
Yeah, Nico, absolutely. This is a crucial spot. Adrenaline is in a really good position right now, as you guys said, very early in the game. That was a big bite. It worked out because now everyone for Ground Zero really has to be careful.
Command center.
This guy has good angles to shoot down the hill on the dark side, and he's also now really far up, so he's going to take a lot of pressure off everyone else.
Oh.
That was a look over here at the show tape, and then we got one of the quarterbacks here making his way on over to the show tape to try to give them a little bit more of a boost.
Adrenaline made another big move into the middle of the field. He went to the big TP in the middle, almost close to the dark side of the field, right at the edge.
Adrenaline really showing an aggressive game here compared to other teams right now. So let's see how that's going to pay off. And making another big move. They're just moving up in that dark side right now. So really getting those 50 bunkers. And that's going to close a space on the Ground Zero quick, you know?
Yeah.
Well, Ground Zero doesn't mind digging in and shooting them out as they come to get them. That's a lot of play style that they have as well.
Yeah, they need to, Danny and Mika, they really need to keep these bodies alive over here that are in the back bunkers on the show tape because that's going to put a lot of pressure across field. If they can, if Adrenaline can work a couple, just even one of those guys out, it's going to put them in a much better situation. But they still have 8 minutes and 15 seconds to start filtering some more bodies up, and also just let it breathe for a little bit. You know, you already are in 2 really good spots relatively early in the match. Let it breathe for a couple minutes. Be proactive, but see if you can produce a kill or 2.
Right.
And then to put yourself in a better position when you actually have to be forced to move forward to try to capitalize on the advantage you've already created.
Right. We try to say let's let the game unfold a little bit. Once we get in where we're at and we try to take big moves like that, we kind of settle down a little bit and see what we can do.
That's really what it is. It's like you have those couple first minutes and you push your guys and get the positions, and then, you know, just sit a little bit, figure out where the guys are, talk it up, you know, make a plan and figure out who the guys are holding you up. And there's another big move from Adrenaline coming to this close tape side. So
Adrenaline making some nice moves.
Very nice moves.
Yeah,
very nice moves.
This is a little triple stack of really good secondaries to put themselves in an offensive position. No one's died yet. They're in just great spots to shoot some angles and then take pressure, because now that they're up the field so far, again, it's just going to take a lot of pressure off everyone else.
At this point, you know, if Adrenaline has a chance to actually close this game up, it like we talked about earlier, it's very, very important, and that sets the pace for everybody else, because if you have that one win, you know, you're sitting pretty good.
Yeah. Look at this glory. I love that. This is our roving cam. Shout out to Art Dorshansky's some beauty shots here, getting a look at the battle going down in the woods. Speaking of beauty shots, when's the Hormesis movie dropping here, Nico?
Yeah, well, we've been filming a whole year, so you know the whole project is kind of making a full paintball movie and bringing back the old school paintball movies. So we started filming at the beginning of the season, and we're gonna kind of finish up filming end of this year, and then it's gonna go to editing space, and hopefully it's coming out next spring sometime.
Nice,
you know, maybe by the first event. I don't know yet.
Well, take your time.
Yeah,
you know, great things take time, and yeah, no, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, we have some legendary guys working on you know with the movie, like you know Alex Frazee is producing it, but you know I'm kind of quarterbacking the whole thing, and then there's like Pat Sporer is back, and like some of the guys that have been involved in all these iconic movies, you know, so it's a cool project.
Yeah, it's kind of the brainchild of people that were either, you know, characters in and people that learned from the master Patrick Sporer, who was kind of, you know, again, the mastermind behind the beginning of paintball cinema.
Yeah, docudramas, I call them. Paintball docudramas, I love them. Everybody's stuck for this Hormesis to come out. So I don't think Ground Zero is going to plan on pushing hard anyway, but that's Christian Collins. He's their fastest player, and you can see he didn't take a big bite down in the bottom.
Yeah, Ground Zero definitely, the intent was a little bit more conservative here for Ground Zero. And Adrenaline, they haven't made him pay yet, but they have definitely made him pay on the real estate, because Adrenaline is just locked up still with those 3 bodies across the field. I haven't seen any body drop for Adrenaline since they've made these 3 nice secondary moves. So they are in a good position to try to close, but it's kind of getting to do or die time. They're going to have to make a decision. Hey, do we want to utilize all this real estate that we took and try to, again, put up a solid, actual, real win on the board in the 90s and then put the pressure on everyone else in our division? Or are we going to be content, to stalemate this game? So that's what was running through everyone's mind right now with, just right about 5 minutes left to go.
And if you don't make the decision between 3 and 5 minutes that you're going to make a push, you're pretty much stuck. You're not going to make it anywhere.
A lot of communication going on right now, all the way across the field. Everybody's trying to figure out what's the, we're coming to 4 minute, just under 5 minutes, so like next 2 minutes are going to be very critical if they get a couple eliminations.
Man, there's a little bit of a risk here for Adrenaline. He was engaging in a relatively reckless gunfight down the sideline, really trying to maybe sucker one of the Ground Zero Gold guys out a little bit more of his bunker so his other teammate might be able to get a shot, but he stayed alive. And again, this is keeping that outside
not a big
contained.
move on the dark side right now for Adrenaline.
Yep, came from the left to the right. I'm not sure if he made it or not. I see the ref back there putting his hand, but I don't see anybody walking out for Adrenaline.
Yeah, he's on your screen right now. Adrenaline looks to be clean with that. That's a pretty crucial spot on that dark side. And then we're back on the show tape here over the shoulders of Ground Zero, who's just trying to hold the line. If I'm Ground Zero right now, look, we know we don't have much ground. No pun intended, but I'm hoping Adrenaline does start to push so I can start chalking up kills.
Right.
Hey, just run right at us. And that, if you're Adrenaline, if you do decide that you want to push, you don't just run right at them. You need to have a staggered, coordinated attack that hopefully they're probably discussing about how they're going to do it right now.
Another Adrenaline plane moving into the center 50 line right here. So they're pretty stacked right now on a 50 zone on the center, and let's see what this close tape side is doing here. He's gunfighting a lot right now, so I think he's looking to make the move, maybe going up this, but no kills yet.
Yeah, Ground Zero came up and took the one outside tape in the V bunker. They took the middle, but I haven't seen anybody else from Ground Zero on this side. I saw a floater earlier. It looks like he went down to the dark side.
There's another move by Adrenaline to try to, they're trying to do some sort of push over there. And, props to Ground Zero for staying alive. They didn't have much real estate, but they were definitely tucked into their spots and no really bad deaths out there for them, which then puts Adrenaline in a tough position and trying to make a tough decision to run into a bunch of guns.
I just saw a crawler from Adrenaline crawl the very edge of the tape, just slow as can be, and went into the side bunker right at the edge of the dark side.
Yeah, Adrenaline definitely is setting a push right now. They want to win this game. They have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, so something really needs to happen in the next minute or so if they want to make it happen, but they have a good position right now.
Yeah, they're kind of reaching that do-or-die moment for Adrenaline. They have a ton of ground, and here comes the push.
Here comes the push on the dark side.
So here's the full court press right now. And
goes all the way.
A full send, he goes all the way, bunkers him out. Oh, but they're going to call a penalty assessed here on Adrenaline on your screen. It's not going to help their chances to try to put an actual big win up. Oh, he's yelling, no, pull him out. No, pull the other guy out. Don't pull me out. Please, ref. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It was a big bite. Didn't work out. Penalty assessed on Adrenaline. Probably going to see another stalemate unless Ground Zero can turn the tables. Or, there still are a decent amount of players alive for Adrenaline over here on this show tape.
And Adrenaline loses another player from the center. So now if Ground Zero gets these kills right now, they have a little chance here to arrange another push,
and
but
we just
running out of time though.
We saw 2 Ground Zero bodies. I just saw them walking back as well, so something happened back there. But Christian Collins is their roamer. He's the rodeo guy. I've been seeing him going back and forth in the middle.
So this is Ground Zero here on the show tape, and he's popping up thinking for a second that he wanted to try to maybe push into that next spot. But with a minute and 26 seconds left, going to chill at that tree, and then here we're back looking towards the middle and the dark side.
The Adrenaline snake clear out here in this fortress that we've been calling it isn't putting a lot of heat down there. It just takes a couple balls. He's getting shot out. He goes right back in. Now he's coming out and finally trying to dictate the back V.
Well, again, we talked about this in the earlier sets. We're deep into this competition. Even just a pull right now puts you in a pretty decent position. So Adrenaline might be having that running through their mind as we hit the minute mark. They're reaching it to a point, both of these teams, where you're probably not going to have enough time to run the flag back. But do you have enough time to get through the guns in front of you in order to get that flagpole, which is pretty crucial point differential.
Yeah, we'll see how, as the day goes by, what's going to happen, because it's if you can pull win on this field, it's going to really make a big difference. So there might be some Also, I think the teams need to start organizing the push a little bit earlier. It looks like it's a little too late right now. Like across the board, they're like pushing in the 3-minute mark, and that's not enough time.
I agree, Miko, absolutely.
That's what I said earlier. Between 5 and 3 minutes, you have to come up with your plan and start moving it.
100%.
Yeah. So it does look like we're going to have another stalemate, and with all that chaos that happened, with Adrenaline making that big bunker move but costing them on a penalty, not sure when the dust settles what the body count's going to look like to see who's going to take a slight lead here between these two teams. It should be probably pretty close on the body count. There's Christian Collins. Yeah, so we're going to reset for this next match coming up. Again, we are in Sunday's competition here at the Badlands, and it's going to be Image and Farside. And we'll be right back. I'm Matty Marshall here with Mikko Huhtinen, who's I think going to go off and film. Best of luck with you. Can't wait to see this Hormesis project, and also check out the duel and the joust. That's going to be
the duel is coming up. Yeah, it's October 22nd is the grand finale, and it's going to be kind of crazy. We got the best 8 guys across the country coming to compete. We're going to give $10,000 out for the winner and some crazy prizes. So all these guys are all pumped up, and it's going to be some great battles there, and lots of paintball.
It was really fun. I won the joust as the general against Todd. It was super sweet. Hopefully we can get you back up here at some point today to talk a little bit more about that. And Danny, you're sticking around?
Yeah, man. Everybody's going to be stoked for that Hormesis movie, man. It's going to be good.
So we will be right back here. Next battle about to go down. AC Empire taking on Image. Stick with us. Welcome back. 2023 Windy City Classic here at the Badlands. Last ICPL event of the season of Matty Marshall, and I got Rocky Cagnoni and Danny Manning, a couple of paintball legends up here to help us call this set. So right now it's going to be Image taking on AC Empire in this bracket. So it's Image, Farside, and AC. First battle in this bracket was Image versus AC. AC was up by 6 points at the end of that match. It was a 10-16 game here, and on the breakout looks like Image is going to be on the left side and AC Empire on the right side. Let's see how much ground they take, boys. Kind of how much ground, Danny and Rocky. It looks like a lot of ground here being taken by Image. And we saw this. Image was the last team out here walking this field at 6:30 last night, when I left at least.
It looks like Farside made some moves into the middle by stuttering. I saw 2 guys not running their break, and then they just filtered into the middle, right on the other side of that big jungle tree.
You know, and it doesn't surprise me with Image taking a lot of ground. That's their MO forever. And they got those fast legs now. You know, quick, small dudes, and they take a lot of ground every game.
Right. Richie's got a super high paintball IQ. He's probably one of the teams known if he can come in here and smash someone down and get a pretty high score or even grab the flag, it's going to put them into chasing. Everybody's going to want them.
Yeah, now a little counter move here from AC, and they're trying to take some ground in that center of the field.
That's far side.
Is it far side?
I hear a kill one.
It should be AC Empire versus Image, unless the actual.
Yeah, because no, there's AC.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, this is far side out here for sure.
Well, they got it wrong on the.
Okay, that's the third body that's left from the middle to our tape from far side. So Image is really putting it on them now. They've got 3 eliminations. Image still has 10 bodies. There's not really a whole lot of pressure over here on the tape side. Image just needs to take advantage of it, move some bodies in here, control that last bunker on here on the tape in the V tree. There's nothing stopping them. They've shot all the middle guys out.
Yeah, Image is looking. I really like this. It tells, man. They walked this field like I said, they were out here for like 3 hours last night walking this field.
So I do see far side back there with the roamer. I think it's Matt Sosman. He just left the far side, or show tape, and went to the middle.
What do you think the body count is right now?
Well, from so far, I at least saw 3 far side bodies get shot and move back.
Yeah, see, this is exactly what we were talking about in the last sets here, Danny, was if you can get an advantage early and take some ground, and then you were able to put up a win, even get the pull with the way this field's been playing, you put yourself in a real good position to be that #1 team.
Everybody's chasing you then.
Yeah. So this is a big moment for Image. Cannot squander this situation. They have some real estate. They have a lot of bodies alive. They've already loosened up the line a little bit here for far side. And again, mistake on it is far side, not AC Empire. So I'm going to have to text Chris Rail, tell him to fix the schedule.
And I think it's super important, especially on this field, to get key eliminations early because the push always comes at the end, right?
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and with the way this field is, you need a good 3, 4, 5 minutes, too.
Absolutely.
You can't start the push with 2.5 minutes.
Another
left.
Image player just moved up to the edge of the dark side over there. It's just right at the top, and it just drops down into a dip. One thing I like about the show side here is either team can cross the road and get into a good bunker and live.
Yeah.
This Image guy comes on across, he's going to be able to put a lot more heat down the bottom.
Danny, it does look like he's just focusing on shooting that cross-field lane towards that bottom, that dark side. Oh, here comes a couple moves right now.
And almost a double bump on
and
there.
another one on the outside.
Vicious.
Yeah, 3 huge moves kind of getting to the edge of the road as a little kind of baby little dirt path that separates this 50-yard line here. And Image is just stacked up all the way across the crossfield push. Ooh, referee comes in. Does he pull a band? No, I don't see a body walking off yet. So it does look like Image's push here with a lot of time left. And there's 8:18 still on the clock.
Yeah, Image is just bringing it to him. Far side's playing back foot paintball now for sure.
Like I was saying, man, Image was out here for hours walking this field yesterday, and it looks like it. It looks like they did their homework.
Richie Mau-Mau's got a great paintball IQ.
Oh, yeah. You know, he OG Image player back in the day. In my opinion, the man that invented the run-through.
100%.
Yeah, I was the first guy he shot in Boston on that run-through, so it's not a great memory for me. But
Image now double stacked up here on the 50.
Yeah, Danny, they got a great spread here, and Rocky, it's looking really good for Image. This is outstanding. At least this is the best look we've seen for any team so far today to start out a game with this much time. But what do they do now? You know, they're kind of at that point where
they just crossed the road. Image crossed the road. Another guy backed him up when he left. So Image is not doing anything but pushing forward.
I guess what they're going to do now is just keep flooding bodies up the field.
And the way they're set up, their back guys are where their mid-front guys used to be. So they're all pushing up together so they can constantly, if they do lose someone, they can constantly fill and keep the pressure on far side. Oh, they do drop one.
Lose a body just now.
Yeah, they lost one, but the blessing of having this many bodies that far up is even if you lose one of your guys, like, yeah, it's going to hurt the communication. It's going to take a little less paint's going to be flying over your head to protect you. But they have so much real estate, though, and again, you got 10 guys to work with. You're going to get a guy here and there chewed up when you're on this big of an offensive push this early on in the game. So it's not that bad currently for Image. But, yeah, far side, and again, it is far side, not Image. I know, not AC Empire. We have that on the scoreboard, but But yeah, so now far side is how they're going to answer. They lost those bodies early. This is a little bit more of a difficult side to push into, just because it's a little bit darker in there, especially early in the morning. The glare is just a little bit tougher to get those eyes on where those last bodies are. But on a layout like this, you don't really need to worry about landmines too much in the backfield, say guarding the flag, because there's just no real big bunkers back there, no big bush. You know, sometimes there's like a big bush and you're worried about when you're running into the.
It's that one guy.
Trying to listen to see if I can hear any communication from far side as they're trying to put it together and see what they're going to do. Kind of backs to their wall, playing on their heels here currently.
I've seen one floater from far side back in the back. He's went back and forth a couple times. Now he disappeared to the right towards the bottom. He's just playing really easy over there.
Well, Image is, I feel like Image is doing a really good job of trying to communicate with their front players. They're talking to each other, back and forth. Figure out where these last bodies are. Is that a body coming off for Image?
No. That's the second time the refs ran in on him, so you know he's catching a lot of heat. Yeah, if Image can just start crossing the road here, there's not anything that can really stop him over here. The V tree, there's nobody in the back bunker there on the show side, so it looks like Image can push over this way and start making something happen. It's like we're 5 minutes, just under 5 in the game.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of look from the middle players here. Look from the dark side angle, and then now back on the show tape here over the shoulders of Image. This bunker's been super crucial. Been calling it the fortress because it's really hard to shoot that guy out of there. And then now over the shoulders here for far side. And yeah, I mean, he's starting to feel a lot of pressure from that. I mean, this is a very key position to try to hold off an attack. Here comes Image. Richie Malczewski making a big move past the 50. Is he just going to go all the way through? Oh, he's going to get all the way through. Let's see. Is he going to stay alive in that spot? And it looks like he makes it clean. Image really pushing the issue right now before 18 left to go. But Danny, like we were talking about, this is about the time and Image really needs to start utilizing all this real estate that take big bites and hope it works out. And they are doing that.
And it looks like it's a 9-on-7.
And here comes Image. Going to continue to push up from that dark side. So we're looking over the shoulders here of Image with our cable cam eye in the sky. How are they going to crack through this line, though?
They have to cross this 50, Matty.
Yeah, someone's got to make this bump over.
The push needs to now start coming from the middle and from the show tape. Not the back player, but these guys need to start filtering
that's what
up.
I said. They need to cross this 50. Either one of these bunkers in front of us, they can easily cross, play, and stay alive.
Across the 50, they're already doing the work on that dark side. They need to start clocking in here and start making some forward progression here from the show tape towards the middle.
Yeah, because they know all that's holding them off is the big tree with the V on this side. There's no other far side players on this side.
Oh, running referee coming in to check out. I believe this is Richie. It looks like he's still good to go. Yeah, the referees are running over there, man. They're running in and checking everybody over on that side.
That's what you want to see.
No, you do.
Okay, here's Image. He finally crossed the 50. There's two of them that's crossed the 50 now for Image.
Yeah, so exactly where we talked about, the moves needed to be made, exactly where Image made those moves. And they both stayed alive, but they're starting to run out of time. We're under 3 minutes to play. They have an incredible cross-field spread here with a full court press.
It looks like the bunker here, this one on the tape, he's finally left out of. Image is crossed over onto the 40 now. Far side's 40.
Image trying to push the advantage. They got him. Oh, they were able to shoot that back corner, but either that or he filled out. Or did you see him walk off dead?
No, I did not, but I noticed that he's not there in the V tree, so there's not a whole lot stopping Image on this side. They can actually take their bunkers, the far side bunkers that they were originally breaking out to.
Yeah, you can see they're not feeling any pressure, so the players here on the show tape are popping the top and looking inside, and no one's shooting at them, thinking, okay, well, I'm not feeling any pressure. I hope they have clocks because they're down at 2 minutes, and they have a big advantage right now.
Yeah, they got to get the fire under their butt on this push, man.
Man, this guy just, man, stack up with your boy and
let's
get
go
to that next spot.
The window's open, bub.
You're going to have to start running into guns here. There he goes. He's going to get across. Does anyone open up on him?
Nope. Not one person. Okay. You can see the Image players on there, 40 in the inside.
Danny, Rocky, they finally did, but from way in the
back. Yeah, he's way in the back there on his back heels.
He's on your screen right now, and he's catching him from way back on the sideline. See, he's telling his buddy right now, he's like, hey, Yeah, I need you to move up in the middle. Let's go. We got a minute and 30 to try to put this big score up here. Image trying to close out. A couple moves now in the middle to help out their player here on this show tape, who's all the way on to far side of the field.
So they got an airmail call. I don't know if that's to get your guns up.
Airmails send it.
Yeah, we saw him coming through. Image loses that guy.
So here it comes. They're going to try to close out.
He went to shoot a bunker that the guy wasn't in at the tree. The guy slipped out on him. But they thought he was still there.
I know, but Danny and Rocky, they were able to get that kill, it looks like, out of the back corner. Unless he just repositioned to another tree. I thought I saw somebody from far side walking out back there.
He was.
So Image is getting chewed up a bit, trying to get into these last couple guns. They got 50 seconds left to try to fight and get this flagpole. Might not have enough time to get back and hang it unless they can shoot these and get shoot these bodies and get these kills in the next 15 seconds. So we saw Eric Hunter from Cap, probably the fastest run I've seen get as far as time left. Pulled the flag with 31 seconds and was able to get it back with almost no time. But just as we talked about, though, just
the
a pull,
refs are running all around the Image players down here now.
Just a pull would be good. Just a pull would be great for Image. They did all this work. They're still losing bodies here.
Oh, I think that's the last far side guy. That's Corey Fields. They got under 15 seconds to pull this flag.
Yeah, we're looking at the flag station. Can they get the pull in time? Is there anybody left on Image?
Run.
As they did get chewed up. So, yeah, they are going to get in there. They're going to get the pull. There's no way they're going to have.
No.
So they got the pull. They got the pull with maybe a second left. So, hey, look, like we talked about, just a pull is a big advantage in the way that this field is playing. But look how hard it was. Look, man, Farside's got some, you got Sosman, Corey Field back there. Those are going to be really hard dudes to dig out of their bunkers. But, yeah, man, Image, they set the pace and the tempo immediately, took a lot of ground early, great secondaries, launched the attack on the dark side. There's Richie sucking air right now. He did a lot of work out there. But, man, Image looked outstanding. Not able to get the hang, but just the pull and a layout like this is huge. So Image in the driver's seat in that division as they stalemated against AC Empire in their first game, and AC had a 6-point lead, so that poll was big. We'll be back. More action coming at you here from the Windy City Classic. Matty Marshall with Rocky Cagnoni and Danny Manning. Stick with us. And also head on over to Go Sports. Thank you guys so much for joining us, but head on over to gosports.com to watch the conclusion of this Woods Ball battle going down here in Chicago.
Boys, roll the gun. Nothing stupid. Let's play good fucking paintball. No, I'm going late pipe. They're just going to try to pin me out. They can pin me out and come down the water. There's Ken. You going to the double behind that big right in front of me? And then I'm going in the spotlight. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh. Hey, you want to line up inside of me? I'm gonna go through these trees. I don't see the lane I'm going. Three of us are running that same time. No, listen. I'm open. The bundle? Yeah, listen. Stop and short and shooting and diving in there. Okay. You're gonna be a lot faster. Yeah, I'm going down. I'm going down. Well, fuck, I'm going the same way, but I'm going. Don't lean on the square. Paint on it.